Hello guys, what is going on? Negacious here. And today I'm here with a bit of a different video. Firstly, I want to apologize for not making all too many videos. I simply hadn't had time due to real life stuff, and I kind of lost motivation to record Danganronpa as well. But new content will be coming soon, regardless. Today I'm not here with a gaming video, I'm here with a gaming related video though, regarding a title visible on your screens right now. So I'm here to give my impressions and thoughts about a game called Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, also known as Ace Attorney 6, that's coming to Europe and NA in about 3 months. A little bit less than 3 months actually. Hype. So the Japanese release for this game was on June 9th, which wasn't all that long ago. Exactly a week ago at the time of this recording. And well, of course, the fans of the franchise have been really hyped about this game. Like when it was announced, I myself got really hyped up. It was announced like about a year ago that hey, we're making a new Phoenix Wright game. Of course, we're not here to talk about Daikyakken Saiban, which will probably not get the English release, but regardless. The Japanese game for Ace Attorney 6, Spirit of Justice, this game right here, was released on June 9th, and the EU scheduled approximate release date for EU and NA was set by Capcom to be approximately 3 months after the Japanese release, so September 9th would be the optimal idea of when the game would be released, fully translated and for the Western audiences to enjoy. And I myself am hyped for that. The device for which the game will be ported on will be the 3DS, handheld 3DS, which is really nice. They are keeping up the tradition. Also, the game will be a digital release only, so no cartridges, sorry fans. That's what we can see on the cover or on the video right now. And the guy, basically, he's an ace attorney, as the name suggests, and he's faced by the most cryptic and random cases you could possibly face. Oh no, how am I gonna get free? And he always, by some bullshit, manages to pull off a not guilty verdict. He's faced many different prosecutors over the years, and this is the sixth game in the franchise, and in this game he will actually not be in California, Japan, whatever you want to call it. He will not be in America, so to speak. He will be traveling to a foreign country of Kurain to have a new trial experience, but later about the new country and the foes and friends he will meet there. There will also be some older characters making the return or reappearance in the series. Some more commonplace people who we've seen before, some people who were in Dual Destinies, are Apollo Justice and Athena Sykes. And Apollo has had his own game in the past, Ace Attorney 4, or also known as Ace Attorney Apollo Justice, who basically, after Ace Attorney 3, the Phoenix Wright franchise was supposed to end, so a new protagonist was created, hence Apollo. And Apollo made his return in Dual Destinies, and now he's back in Ace Attorney 6, but this time he is alone in Japanifornia while Phoenix is out of the country. And Athena Sykes here, who is the newcomer to the law team of Phoenix and Apollo, will be the co-counsel for Apollo. Athena is a really good character. I'm glad that she's back, actually. They kinda milked and squeezed like every single plot thread out of her during Ace Attorney 5, but let's not go. Let's hope that they can keep her character to certain modesty, so that it won't go overboard. That it's like, oh no, I got a cut in my finger, they're gonna make a friggin' 10-hour arc out of that when they're trying to bandage the the fucking wound. Because that's basically what Dual Destinies was. It was just spoon-feeding and over-dramatizing everything. Dramatizing. That's the word. More about the characters. As I mentioned, Phoenix will not be in the America or Japanifornia. He will be off in a place called Kingdom of Kurain, which is apparently in the Ace Attorney universe. It will be on the far east end of Asia. And as for Phoenix's character, he seems a lot more serious and a lot more. He seems even aggressive. When there was a live stream a couple days back from Capcom at E3, they mentioned that Phoenix looks a lot more aggressive and even like serious, because the Kurainese trials don't have defense attorneys, and Phoenix being one, his options aren't exactly the best. Basically the Kurain trials use divination seances, which show, and that's going to be a new game mechanic. I'm not sure if I can show footage of it here, but it basically shows the final memories from the victims, killed victims' perspective, which is really cool. I've seen some gameplay out of it, and it looks really nice. It's going to be an interesting experience to try and solve. Also, there is a priestess who will be our kinda foe, friend, frenemy, I suppose. In the series, at least the first case that I've watched in Japanese, she seems kinda hostile and really like strict and like absolute. She's called Reifa Padma Kurain, who will be the kind of main villain in the first case of the game, at least. That's what I've seen. There will be a picture of her popping up a bit earlier than that. Reifa Padma Kurain is the official translated name for her, and she's 14. Japanese. She's 14. And she will be consulting and interpreting these divination seances, which is cool. And you basically need to like present evidence to contradict the priestesses or Reifa's statements when compared to the divination seance, which is really cool. I can't wait to try it out. Or at least watch like how people do it. Who else? Yes, as I mentioned, Athena will be back, so will be the Mood Matrix, which is another game mechanic, and that's also fun. I like doing the Mood Matrix sequences in Dual Destinies, which was the first game where it was introduced alongside Athena. That's basically, Mood Matrix is basically when you get to inspect how a person is feeling during their testimony and presenting inconsistencies. Like if they're talking about something really sad, they're like crying on the outside, but they're feeling happy inside. Like why? And then you present the feeling as evidence. That was really cool in Dual Destinies. I'm glad they're bringing that back. Also, Apollo's bracelet will be back, which allows you to spot nervous habits. That was kind of obvious that that's gonna return with alongside Apollo. And finally, the thought route will be back. Also, a new game mechanic introduced in Dual Destinies, which is kind of like a case summary kind of type of thing, or like at the end of the case, used to solve the last mystery when the prosecution is like, hey, you haven't proven this. If you don't prove this, your client will be found guilty regardless. and then you're like, bullshit lawyer powers, go! And you jump into your own brain basically to think about it, and then you're like, aha, that's how the killer did it, or something. Thought Route was also fun. It kind of ruined the... I mean, it is like the climax of the case, but Thought Route, it was cool, but it wasn't as cool as the Mood Matrix, in my opinion. Regardless, I'm glad all of these new game mechanics and characters are coming back. Next up, about more of the characters who are returning. So, as I mentioned already, Phoenix, Apollo, and Athena are confirmed, and then the new foe, Reifa Padma Kurain. But there are more, and there are a lot of old characters coming back. Firstly, I'm sure every Ace Attorney fan went apeshit when they saw this. Maya Fey, this cheeky girl, is coming back to this franchise. And this is incredible, because the last time Maya Fey has been in an Ace Attorney game time-wise, or has been a character in an Ace Attorney game, was in 2004, when when Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations came out, also known as Ace Attorney 3. That was the last game where Maya was your like co-counselor, an actual character in a game. 2004 and 2005 actually, when the Ace Attorney trilogy was released on the Western consoles, on the DS and such. But that's 11 years since Maya has been like a legit character, and oh my god, did like the fanbase go apeshit when they saw this news. Like when they saw this piece of info, they just like, Jesus Christ. And I'm happy that Maya is back. I mean, she, from like the screenshots that I've seen, she seems to have like matured, and she's not like as goofy as she used to be, and that's what makes Maya Maya. But she seems to be like a really, she seems to be still like that lovable character that we all like so much and love to see in the first 3 games of the franchise. Also, alongside Maya, there won't be any like special skills coming with her. It's just Maya, and and from what I've heard, she will be having an impact on the actual story. So they're not just bringing her back because for the hell of it, and it's really nice. Next up, also, our lovely forensic scientist Emma Skye is back, which personally, probably out of all the returning characters, is the best for me, because I fucking loved Emma in the first Phoenix Wright game. She was so goddamn like awesome. She's like probably like one of my top 5 characters of all time from the franchise. And when Emma made I suppose return to the franchise, first after being in the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney and then returning in Apollo Justice as the lead detective on the cases, she was kinda grumpy and annoyed, but that's just because Apollo Justice is a dark game. But now Emma seems to have reached her goal of being a fully fledged, complete, all-knowing forensic scientist. Her dream has become true, and oh my god, is she enthusiastic about it. They even brought back her old theme song, which is awesome. And the common, like, people, like, there are mixed opinions on Emma. They say that Emma was copied after Maya, but, like, I think Emma is just her own character. Like, World Justice confirmed that, and now that they're bringing her back, that means there will be more forensic science, forensickening, and forensic science things happening, which is awesome. So we get to use luminol again, search for fingerprints, and that kind of stuff. That's really, really fun. Also, I think she will actually be the lead detective on all the cases again. Some people wanted Gumshoe to come back, but hey, you can't have everything. Personally, I'm really, really, really happy that Emma is back. She's just that snack-loving forensic detective. It's awesome that she's back. Next up, there's Trucy Wright has been confirmed to be back, and she will apparently be the defendant in case 2, which I'll be going into a bit more detail later on. So this case has been it's been hyped for quite a bit, even by Capcom, because in the actual trailer of the game, there's the Japanese trailer, the last Japanese trailer. You can search it up on YouTube. It's a little over 3 minutes. Apparently Trucy is the defendant in the second case of the game, and some catastrophe happens relating to Trucy and the Apollo Justice game, because Capcom also announced that they are going to be closing some plot threads that remain from Apollo Justice, which is really cool because the game really ended up as a mess. There were so many. After the last case, you would just wonder, why, what, when, why is this happening, why is this the thing, why wasn't this confirmed? Apparently Capcom didn't forget about it. They are confirming that they will be closing the book on Apollo Justice and shedding light on the mysteries remaining from Apollo Justice, and they said that there will be a catastrophe relating to Apollo Justice and the Write Anything Agency. And there are pictures of the darkened pictures of all the Apollo Justice stuff, like Trucy's hat and Zach Gramery and all that good stuff. So I'm actually really hyped to see on what the catastrophe will turn out being. I hope that neither Apollo or Trucy dies, but I wouldn't put it past the franchise to actually just kill one of them off. But I truly hope that neither of them dies. I hope it's something else. But we'll get to see what that catastrophe is going to be. What else? Yeah, next up would actually be the new Prosecutor as per characters. The new Prosecutor is this slick-looking motherfucker. And it is a he. And he's been confirmed, his Japanese name has been confirmed to be Nayuta Satmadi. And it's not certain what his English name will be. It's written in katakana, so I actually do not know if they will be changing his name too much. Because Reifa Padma Kurain's original name in the Japanese game is Leifa Padma Kurain. So they might tinker a lot around with Nayuta's name, but I'm not sure if they will actually tinker with it too much. Because I honestly think that the name Nayuta Satmadi would fit the guy pretty damn well from what I've seen. He looks badass, and his nickname is apparently the Funeral Prosecutor. And he believes in mythicism and escorting the victim to a peaceful rest by convicting the defendant. That's his etiquette for work, apparently. Also, Nayuta seems to know Apollo and vice versa, which is really interesting. This was hinted towards in a trailer, which is awesome. I can't wait if there's a connection between the two, what on earth could it be, because both of them seem to know each other from before. And Nayuta is 25, or he's been confirmed to be 25, and Apollo is 24 in this game, I think, which is, they're the same age. I can't wait to see what the end result of that teaser will be on how they actually met. Also, there have been confirmed for Nayuta to have at least two official voice lines or voiced lines in the game. One will be the Igiari, which means objection, which every prosecutor and defense attorney has voiced. But then there's also a new kinda voice line, one-off, which sounds like Satora, like Satora in English, like Satora pronounced, and it's very similar. It seems to me very similar, comparably to Simon Blackwell's silence in S35, where Simon also had two lines. One was objection, and the other one was silence, or damattero, as it was in the Japanese version. And and I think that Satora, this hasn't been confirmed, this info, but I think Satora actually could be translated to fool or fools in plural. Because he said like unenlightened and foolish and fool and inadequate, these kind of like adjectives in the trailer. And I think he also said Satoru or Satora in the trailer, which was translated to unenlightened, but that would be kind of too long to just flash up on the screen. So I'm thinking it might be translated to fool, which is really interesting. I can't wait to see how Nayuta will be entwined with the story and what kind of a person he will be in court, because he seemed really interesting. My top prosecutor ever will be Edgeworth probably, or Blackwell. They were awesome, but Nayuta is definitely up there. As for new rivals, as I mentioned earlier in the video, Reifa Padma Kurain, the royal priestess, that's her translated title, at least in the trailer. Reifa Padma Kurain is the royal priestess princess who will be conducting and interpreting the divination seances. And she, as I mentioned, she's 14, but she hates attorneys and she wants to convict every criminal, or assumably criminal, as soon as possible. And Capcom said that Reifa's character will be quite interesting because she is really serious and tries to do her job, but she is, under the surface, she is still a 14-year-old girl, which will probably show later on in the series, which is, I think it's gonna be quite cute and nice to, it's going to be, nicely conveyed to the viewer. That's something that I'm really looking forward to. Also, more about Kurain, the actual country where Phoenix will be traveling. As for the design of the place, from what I've seen, it looks very Asian. It's really, it really gives us that Orientic feeling when you go there. All the background musics and the places, the visuals, the characters, everything is really really stereotypically Orientic and Asian. And I think it is a nice change of pace to the Japanifornia, big city California feeling. And yeah, I don't know. Also about the court system in Kurain, if you try to defend a person and you can't pull off a not guilty, you will be sentenced to death alongside with your client. So that's also why Phoenix is kinda grumpy or angry looking, because he doesn't wanna die, basically. I already talked about the game mechanics, but I guess I could add a little bit more to it. As I mentioned, the Divination Seance is a completely new game mechanic which is run by Reifa Padma Kurain, and it also shows the victim's last memories, hence why there's no need for defense attorneys, because it is absolute. Next up, the mood matrix, through which you can judge a person's emotions and find contradictions within, which was introduced in S35 by Athena. Then there's Apollo's bracelet, which will be returning, which allows you to spot nervous habits. And there's one who I forgot to mention, actually. The Cyclox will be returning, which is awesome. It was first introduced in Ace Attorney 2, which basically shows you have this item called a Magatama, which allows you to see to a person's soul if they're hiding secrets. I know, every lawyer has to have one, right? Regardless, Phoenix will be having his good old trade took the Cyclops back, and I can't wait to see which like characters will have Cyclops and who won't. So that's also good to have back. Also, as a kind of a final two topics. Firstly, I want to talk about the game animations and flow. The game animations, they really improved from Dual Destinies. The Dual Destinies was the first 3DS game of the Ace Attorney franchise, and it looked gorgeous back in 2012, 2013 when the trailers and the game actually came out. But it was still a little choppy and not as fluent as you would have expected, but they fixed all of that in Ace Attorney 6. The animations and everything, it's just gorgeous right now. It is incredibly good compared to Dual Destinies. I admit Dual Destinies was good, the animations were good, and they did a good job, but Ace Attorney 6 just blows the table with the animations, in my opinion. The animations are gorgeous. And they also fixed the color palette a little. It's not, because in Ace Attorney 6 you would have like these really colors that like stand out really much. The contrast was a bit too high, but they fixed all of that in Ace Attorney 6 as well. That's good. Also, breakdowns. Oh, the good old breakdowns, am I right? Because every criminal and like witness has a or even prosecutors have a breakdown when a shocking fact is like laid bare, or a witness is driven to a corner and they finally confess. They have a thing called breakdown, which is usually a unique animation regarding that character. And from what I've seen, the first case is Killer. I'm not gonna spoil who it is, but it's hilarious. I think it's the longest breakdown in the Ace Attorney series franchise, and it's 55 seconds. A continuous animation, of course it swaps up the animation, but a continuous breakdown for 55 seconds, and that's fucking insane. The breakdown's badass, don't get me wrong, but the breakdown was, I'm not gonna spoil anything about it, but it was 55 seconds long and it was pure awesomeness. The witness was amazing in this case, or on the case, and oh my god, was I laughing my ass off when I saw the guy's breakdown. I was looking at the screen like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And as for the other example that I can give you regarding breakdowns, we have the Prosecutor, Nayuta Sadmadi. Because the Ace Attorney franchise has, up to date, 7 games, including the Investigations 1 and 2. There's a lot of breakdowns, and the devs are running out of ideas, so they just went full on apeshit, full over exaggeration regarding the breakdowns. Like Nayuta's breakdown, he wears a like when he loses the case, he has a breakdown that I saw where he has a necklace with beads hanging from it. He takes the necklace off and stretches it in front of him. The necklace snaps, and the beads hit him in the face in slow motion, knocking the guy out cold, which is fucking hilarious. Oh my good gracious, I can't show it here, but just search it up, it's awesome. It's just amazing. Naida's breakdown, I was just... when I saw it, I was just like, what the fuck, Capcom? Why would you go that far? But the game is kinda self-satire-ish. It knows that it has some bullshit moments in it, and yeah, the game kind of realizes that it's not all serious, so they just went full on overboard with the breakdowns this time. I can't wait to see what the breakdowns in the 4th or 5th cases are gonna be. Good grief. Regarding as a last topic, I wanna kind of touch on the overall impact on the series. The Ace Attorney 6, they've said that it'll focus on Apollo, which is nice. The Apollo Justice plot threads will be closed, so that's one game completely sealed off and filed away. But I don't know anything about the ending yet, but I have a feeling that the Ace Attorney series is coming to an end. Like, there's not much they can pull off, because it's not anymore. The game was good in 2001 or 2005 when the franchise came out, and like 2007 was good, but when it's the 8th game coming out of the same thing, I need to applaud the devs of the game, because they are doing a phenomenal job. But I can't say anything more than they can either leave it as an open ending and make one more game, or then close it off good here, because like, I can't see 2 more Ace Attorney games coming out. I love the series to death, but if they do make like Ace Attorney 8, it's not going to work anymore, because there's simply not, like, they're gonna run out of ideas, and like the same concept running over and over, the player gets adjusted to it, and it's not as fun anymore. Also, as a final note, this is really the final note, by the way, the music of the game is fantastic. Just my favorite from the soundtrack so far is the California core, the investigation core music. It's really suspenseful and gives kinda... it's really good. So, but regardless, thank you for watching my thoughts and impressions and explanations video on Ace Attorney 6 Spirit of Justice. If you liked, drop a comment, leave a like down below. And if you want to be the first one to see my content, then make sure to drop a subscribe as well. And comments, any constructive feedback is welcome. Don't be a hater, be a liker, and have a fantastic day, you beautiful son of a gun. Negacious out.